Yeah.
Okay, ready? Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be a cliche right now. I'm going to ask a question. By raise of hands, I want to know, how many of you have a special interest or a sport that you're passionate about? Pretty much almost everyone here in this class has something I think we all can agree that we're passionate about. Now, what if I told you there was a school that specialized in that interest, but you weren't able to attend it? How many of you would still want to go or try to get into it? Out of breath. It seems pretty unfair that average working families wouldn't be able to send their kids to the schools of choice because of personal issues or financial issues. According to Private School Review, there are about 3,959 charter and private schools in the state of California that specialize in certain programs such as sports, individualized education programs, fine arts, just schools that specialize in anything that you could possibly think of. The problem with these schools, though, is they're not always affordable for the people. There are scholarships, of course, but they're sometimes hard, and the process to apply for them is time-consuming, and it's just a lot harder than actually applying for go to a public school. So today, I would like to list reasons why I believe the state of California should provide school vouchers so parents could send their kids to the schools that they want to go. My reasoning will include parents will pay taxes regardless of where their children go to school. It will create diversity within the private school and charter system. And these schools offer specialized programs that some students might need. So, like I pointed out earlier, some of us are good at sports, some of us are good at fine arts, and some of us might even have learning disabilities. I don't know. I know myself, I do have a learning disability. To each their own, and for everybody needs what their own. Not all of us are the same. I'm not the same as you, and I'm not the same as you. We all need something different, and not all public schools can provide that for us. Such as the Chartwell School in Seaside, California specializes in music programs. But of course, for those kind of programs, their average cost for tuition is about $25,000 a semester, which is outrageous because I can't even afford it coming here. And also the school in the Interlochen Arts Academy in Michigan specializes in programs for students with ADHD and special education programs and special learning needs. I know these kind of schools are the schools that some kids need to go to, and it's not always fair that we're not able to attend these schools because of our own personal issues. But if the state of California was able to provide school vouchers, we'd be able to send students to these schools and give them the kind of training or needs and make sure that all their needs are met. The next reason was it would create diversity within the charter and private school system. According to a study done by the Stanford Center for Education Policy Analysis, in a study done in 2003, it is shown for a 10-year period that the predominant ethnicity that was able to get into private and charter school system was mostly Caucasian. Now, what this says to me is that minorities it's not as easy for minorities to get in. For whatever reason, Latino Americans and African Americans aren't able to get into these systems as easily as everybody else. But if we were able to create a system where everyone was given a choice of taking vouchers, we would all be able to decide where we wanted to go and be able to create diversity within a system that seems very lock-gated for all of us. And then my final reason is people will take taxes wherever you go. Let's be real here. We're all going to pay taxes at a point in our life. It's just life. You live, you die, you pay taxes. Those are the three truths of life. So if parents are going to be paying into the public school system regardless of where their kid's going, we should be able to at least give them some decision on where they want some of their money to go. If they want to send their kid to an expensive religious school or a school that helps with their certain education needs, we should be able to provide that for them because it's their choice. They're paying anyway, you might as well give them what they want. So in conclusion, I think it's important that we provide this service to everyone in California, give everyone the choice that they want, because it will create diversity within the system. And I know for myself, if I knew long before that there was a place that could help me with my ADHD and a school where I wouldn't have felt as stupid as I did sometimes in high school, I would have gone there. I would have jumped on the opportunity to attend that school. And thank you.
It's a plan, but you know, like, I'm not really looking to do more capital. You know, capital is employees, so, you know, you're not friends with some. Oh no, I believe that's not it. My goal is to, by the age of 50, have $30 million in assets.
All right, Jasmine, what did you think?
Everyone can't do that. Don't ever say.
I think it was pretty effective. Everybody participated. I liked the topic of the speech overall, but I feel like it felt a little bit too much, and it was missing some structure. She was just kind of going through like what she thought and how we would provide the choices to go to that school, but she didn't really like have transitions and structure in her speech. And yeah.
All right, I think you need to work on the need argument a little bit more to show us how many people have problems with the schools that they're going to. It's all a hypothetical in this particular situation. If there was a school that you wanted to go to, wouldn't you want to be able to go to it? You know, and being kept out by money. But I don't have any idea about who's being kept out by a lack of resources. By the way, I think you're conflating private schools and charter schools frequently in the presentation. They are different things, and the charter schools are public schools, so they don't charge the rates that you're talking about. Private schools, though, might very well charge $25,000 a year or a semester, as you described it. That's not going to be a public charter school because they aren't allowed to charge that way. But they might have specialized resources in some of those charter schools, and it is true that there sometimes is limited access to those sorts of things. So you've got a couple of issues that I think need to be cleared up in the argument. The idea of vouchers as a solution to the problem, the argument here has to be that there has to be some explanation about how the finances would work on that. Because let's face it, if everybody gets vouchers and that allows them all to go to the school that's $25,000 a year, how the heck are we going to be paying for this? Because that's not the amount of money that's spent per pupil per year. But if everybody wants to be able to spend that amount, believe me, they're going to do that. It's like nobody goes up for the the ice cream social and says, well, I'll just have a scoop of vanilla. When they've got all those other things sitting in front of them, they're going to choose some other things to add on top of it. And I think you've got this argument here that suggests that, well, vouchers will fix that, but you don't even explain how a voucher works, and I think that's problematic, so the solution needs to be explained a little bit more as well. I think you do a nice job presenting. You've got a lot of energy and passion in your voice. That works well. When you're looking at us, you do a good job at that, but there are times, for example, when you do have to divert and go back to reading your notes, and that's, I think, a little bit frustrating. It probably required a little bit more practice on your part. All right, I'm trying to